learn this. And I want everyone to focus. And if you're unable to understand, then you can obviously ask. The first thing that I want you to do is convert 1/3 into decimals. Zara convert karo 1/3 को decimal में बताओ क्या आ रहा है. Divide करो. नहीं. पहले 1/3 को decimal में. This is what happens when you try to recall everything. के बस जो रट्टा मारा हुआ उसको मैं याद कर लूं. देखो जरा 1/3 को अगर decimal में आप कर रहे हैं 1 is being divided by 3. 0 point अगर मैं लगाऊं तो 10 हो जाएगा. And then this becomes 3s are 9. सब अपने पास ही लिखें. Why is everyone not writing it down? 1 and the 3 carries on. Is that right? ये चलता ही रहेगा क्योंकि मुझे नजर आ रहा है it's the same thing that is happening again. लिखो. If you are unable to understand this तो आगे भी आपको कुछ नहीं समझ में आएगा. So how can you write it? हम 0.333 नहीं लिखते हैं. हम basically तो चलो this continues but we can write it like 0.3 और उस 3 के ऊपर हम एक डॉट लगा देते हैं which shows the recurring decimal. Is this clear? Okay, the same decimal is occurring again and again and again. 0.333333333 and it goes on forever. Now I want you to do one more 2/9. Convert this into decimals and show me how do you write this as a recurring decimal. You will understand it this way, तो फिर other way around समझ में आएगा. 0.2222 same आ रहा है, so 0.2 and we'll put a dot on the top which will show that it is a recurring decimal. Is everyone getting the same answer? This is the first part where we have converted a fraction into a recurring decimal. Now we will do it the other way around. Is this clear? कि पहले समझ में आया कि होते क्या है recurring decimal? So yeah, now if I tell you a recurring decimal 0.6 and there is a dot on the top, obviously this is what it means. What does it mean? 0.666666666 and the number goes on and on and on forever. आपको clear है ये? So how to convert it into fractions? Let's start from the beginning. So I am writing this इसको as a fraction में 0.6 and ऊपर dot लगा के लिख. चलो. What do I need to find? I need to find x, the fraction that it is. 6 के ऊपर dot दिमाग में clear है. What is the number? 0.6666666 and it goes on and on and on forever. Now what happens if I multiply it by 10? We'll not always multiply it by 10. We'll need to understand किससे multiply करना. I'll explain it to you people as well. 10x क्या हो जाएगा if I multiply the same number by 10? 6.666666666. Is that right? So I am writing it as 6. Is this clear or not? Now इसमें भी the decimals are going on and on and on forever. And same was the case with x. I have made two numbers, two fractions जिसमें the decimal is recurring. Now what happens when I take 10x and I subtract x from it? I'll show it to you people as well. 10x क्या है मेरे पास? What is the number 10x? 6.666 and it goes on forever. And I'm subtracting 0.666 and this is also going on forever. When we subtract, where do we start from? Right, left? Where do we start from when we are subtracting? Right. Every 6 has a 6 beneath it. So all the 6 will cancel out. So if I start cancelling out, मेरे पास all the recurring decimals have cancelled out. और यहाँ पे मेरे पास there is no number that remains. But 6 में से 0 गया तो what is the number that remains? 6. So I'm just writing it as 6. Is that right? So I'm saying 9x is basically 6 and x is basically 6/9. And when I simplify it, what do I get? 2/3. 3 से दोनों को cancel किया. 3 2s are 6 and 3 3s are 9. So this number, which was a recurring decimal, you have converted it into a fraction. 0.6 के ऊपर जो dot था 0.6666666, you have converted it to a fraction which is basically 2 upon 3, is 9x. Is that right? And 10x was this number, 6.666, minus 9x was this number. When I subtracted, I made sure all the recurring decimals cancelled out, and the value that I was left with is 6. Yes? क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि same decimal place के नीचे same decimal आए. So just by multiplying it by 10, same x 6 के नीचे 6 आ गया मेरे पास. आप 100 भी लेते तब भी 6 के नीचे 6 आता. You would have ended up getting a bigger value, फिर 66 आ जाता. तब भी answer would have been the same. Is this clear? The prime purpose, the primary objective is to get same decimal के नीचे same decimal लेकर आ. That is our primary objective. Is this clear? एक दो क्वेश्चंस और करेंगे, डोंट वरी, वील गेट द हैंग ऑफ इट, परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं. ओके, नाउ 0.17. चलो पहले मैं एक काम करता हूं, I'll just put a dot on 7. What does this mean? नंबर क्या है मेरे पास? 0. No, the dot is में 0.177777777. Am I clear about this? So again, I am calling this x, the fraction that I need to find. इसको किससे मल्टीप्लाई करना चाहिए? Again, what is the primary objective? कि उस decimal के नीचे वही decimal लेकर आना है. And what is the decimal that is recurring? Sevens. I want all sevens के नीचे मुझे sevens ही चाहिए. What should I do? I should multiply this with what? 100 से भी हो जाएगा, दोनों से हो जाएगा, 10 से भी काम बन जाएगा. इजी नंबर्स रखो. 10 से मल्टीप्लाई होकर व्हाट विल द नंबर बिकम? 1.777. That means 1.7 and this 7 has a dot on the top. फायदा क्या हुआ? सारे जो recurring decimal है उसके नीचे I got the same numbers. Is that right? देखो, now was 1.7 is 1.777 and so on. Is that right? And I'll subtract 0.177. Do I get all the same decimals? जो recurring है उसके नीचे सारे same numbers आ रहे हैं या नहीं आ रहे हैं भाई? तो if I start from the right, all the sevens यहां तक तो cancel out हो जाएंगे मेरे पास. And what am I left with? 7 minus 1 is 6. And this is 1. So 10x minus x is 1.6. So 9x is 1.6. X is 1.6 upon 9. Now you can simplify this. What do you get? If you cannot leave decimal or we cannot leave a decimal and fraction in the same number, so what is it that we end up with? दोनों को 10 से multiply कर लो. 16 upon 90. Now can you simplify them with any particular number? Yes, do it. Let me know what is the answer that you end up with. We need a simplified fraction for this one. Patani, if you are saying so, I trust your values. All of you will figure it out on your own and tell me whether you get the same answer or not. 8/45. 2 से किया simplify. Very good. Is this clear now? Does this make sense? Clear है नहीं है? So primary objective, I'll repeat. The same recurring decimals के नीचे to get the same numbers beneath them. Is this clear? Okay, class. Now I'll make the same number, but अब मैं इसको change करूँगा. 0.17. I'll put a dot on the 7 as well and a 1 as well. What does this mean? Very good. 0.1717171717. Both numbers are recurring in the same sequence. Does this make sense? Now, what should you multiply it with? That is your choice. Keeping in mind the primary objective कि उस decimal value के नीचे same चीज आनी चाहिए. 100. If I take this as x, इसमें I have no option but to multiply it by 100. And if I multiply it by 100, this is the number that I get. Is this right or wrong? Is this right? Now, if I subtract 100x minus x, what will I get? 100x is 17.1717 and the number goes on and on forever. और इसमें से if I subtract 0.17 is my primary objective met? हर नंबर के नीचे वही सेम recurring आ रहा है because this will go on and on and on forever. And now if I start subtracting तो सारे decimals एक दूसरे बाद वाली values will cancel each other out. And what is the number that I'll be left with? 17. Primary objective clear है. That is what will help us decide कि किससे multiply करना है. So I can say that 100x minus x is 17, which is basically 99x is 17 and x is 17 upon 99. Is this clear? Very good. 17 is a prime number. It cannot be further simplified. Another way to understand it, 99 के factors 11 और 3 होंगे. So 17 ना तो 11 से cancel हो रहा है ना 3 से हो रहा है. Both ways you will understand it cannot be further simplified. Does this make sense? Can we do a few more questions? Okay, class. एक चीज मैं और बता दूं and then I'll be giving you some questions. 0.123. And if I give you a line on the top, what does this line mean? The line also means that ये 3 dots या 2 dots की जगह भी you can get the line. What does this mean? 0.123, 123, 123, 123, 123 and so on. Keep in mind the primary. बिल्कुल 2 dots या 3 dots की जगह you can get this line as well. सही है? So what does this mean? That the same number is occurring again and again. Now keep in mind the primary objective. I want the same numbers beneath the same number so that when I subtract they cancel out. I should multiply this by, I'm calling this x. This is a fraction that I need to figure out. And when I multiply it by 1000, 123.123, and so on. Is that right? So now if I subtract it, 1000x is 123.123, and this is going on forever. So if I subtract my x from this 0.123, primary objective is clear. So all the same numbers cancel out after the decimal and I'm left with 123. So 1000x minus x is always okay. So this is 999x is equals to 123. X is 123 upon. Can this be simplified?
Yes.
Which number? Good. Simplify this with 3. Tell me what do you end up with? 41 upon 330. See, that is the fraction that you end up with. So this recurring decimal is basically 41 upon 333. Does this make sense now? Is this clear? Okay, I'm giving you a few questions now, and I'll expect you people to do it on your own. Okay, class. Give this a go. So this is 7 over. What about this one? Good. And what about this one? Well done. Clear है?